The Cybermen, the ultimate guide. Is it? Yes. Right, so Doctor Who fans. Yes, this guide I purchased a few days back from the newsagent. Pretty pricey, $19.99, but nonetheless worth it. Cybermen, the ultimate guide. Metallic monstrosities from Mondas, Telos. Planet 9. Yes. Parallel Earth. What have we here then? Yes, I think I've been through this the other day to skim through anyway. So, look at this, for example, here. Those of you who know the 1968 Doctor Who annual will recognise this picture, of course. It's one of my favourite annuals, as a matter of fact. So it's a beautiful start. I think they did an unofficial one with Colin Baker in 1986. I mean, not in the year, but for that year, a few years back. Pretty similar picture, obviously with the updated Cybermen, with the Cryon era, shall we say. Now, we have here, I don't even have to say the words because I know them anyway, Kit Pedler and Jerry Davis, who invented the Cybermen for Doctor Who anyway. Obviously they didn't invent cybernetics, but that's where the origin of the Cybermen came from. Now, some of you will recognise again this Radio Times cover at the bottom, bottom right on my screen, on yours, the other side, left. So, yeah, a rare Radio Times watch. I had myself sold on off, obviously, many years ago. Because they deteriorate so quickly, these old Radio Times. You can keep them for a number of years, then sometimes it's worth passing them on. I even did it with the very first Marco Polo cover from 1964. I've kept a few though, the Three Doctors and The Power of the Daleks or something. Speaking of the 1973 Radio Times, there's a picture from, I don't think it's the exact picture, maybe it is, with Anneke Wills and Michael Craze, Ben and Bobby. That'd be interesting, wouldn't it? Different. Now we have the modern Cybermen, who are never, in my opinion, as scary as the moon-based Cybermen, which are creepy as heck, especially with them voices. But then again, it talks about the variance here in these sort of diagrams of all the early iterations of the Cybermen up to the present day, from the Power of the Doctor, obviously with those Time Lord Cybermen and the 10th planet. Interesting idea, wasn't the Cyberium? Was that the same entity that was in the? Perhaps one of you viewers can tell me. The same creature that was in the what was it? With Matt Smith, that one. I'll come back to him in a sec. It always comes back to me. It'll come back together. Again, we have Tomb of the Cybermen. As referenced here, the Listener, some of these, the 10th planet, of course, very early. It goes through chronologically from their very early appearances to now. Nightmare and Silver. What's the matter with me? That's what it was. That's what it was called. Nightmare and Silver. How can I forget? Wonderful. Even though Cyberman tonight, didn't it? Again, we have those comedy gold escapade fights with the two of the Cybermen with Toberman. Remember, he was thrown by skewered rope or wire, and then the Cyberman came apart and fell on the ground when toothpaste oozed from its foam. We used to call it toothpaste in them days, from their chest units. Okay. Again, it talks about the toys. Now, the Wheel in Space. I would like to see that on Blu-ray, but I'd like to see the 3D version done by TARDIS Time Girl, as you know. It's so well done, rather than the 2D animation. That's my opinion, anyway. In IMO, it showed each section has an explanation of each Cyberman story. Plus, if there's tally snaps of missing episodes, they're also shown in this magazine. For episodes sort of 1, 2, 4, and 5, for example, of Wheel in Space, there are tally snaps there for each the John Cura tally snaps. Perhaps even some of them who, yeah, that's fine. Because it was, I didn't mean John. Obviously, John Cura made tally snaps. in the 60s. Again, ooh, a nice picture from the Three Doctors, the Radio Times cover. The Radio Times special it is. And of course, that's a full, because that was folded in half, wasn't it? The original. I've got the designs upstairs. I've got the actual magazines upstairs anyway. But yeah, it's a nice photo of that. I mean, it's a very. It's been copied by Sylvester McCoy. I'm sure you're aware of that too. Again, Revenge of the Cybermen. Classic story. The voices are a bit funny in that, because I think some of the actors, for example, someone off the bill, weren't they? Earthshock, of course. The Peter Howell music at the time was very effective, wasn't it? Earthshock was so good because, you know, you had that reveal at the end of episode 1, which was unexpected. I think John Nathan Turner made sure it was unexpected as well. The Cybermen were well realised in that story. Obviously, the voices were different from the 60s, but they were good. They give the impression of menace, especially the cyber leader. Now again, this is a Doctor called Doctor Who and the Cybermen, the cover from Target. You well can see the Cyberman uses an invasion Cyberman when it's supposed to be a moon-based Cyberman. But it's quite an effective cover anyway, for whatever it is. I mean, you know. And I love this. You see that one where the Revenge of the Cybermen? I got that when it was pristine in the 70s, and the smell of the cover, I remember it well when I received that. It was beautiful. There's something about getting those Target books brand new off the printed press was just fantastic in them days. Can we move on to the modern era of Rise of the Cybermen, Age of Steel, some of the Closing Time, that comedy gold one with Matt Smith, with the Cyberman. Again, we have the Big Finish style of Cybermen stories. I mean, I think that's spare parts there. If you look at the picture there on the right, left of your picture, yeah, it's spare parts. Like it doesn't say there, but yeah, it is spare parts, isn't it? Sure, it is. Yeah, spare parts. It was a good story, actually. Good. Again, a well-realised origin of the Cybermen. That one probably better than the TV version, actually. And the voices are spot on too in that story. I.e. 60s. Again, we have the Timeless Children, Ascension of the Cybermen, Jodie Whittaker era. And a cyberography at the back with all the timelines again and merchandise releases. So enjoy that, Doctor Who fans, if you can get it. At well-known news agents, it's only it's $19.99. Well, it's a bit pricey, but you know, if you're a collector of those things, knock yourself out. In the meantime, take care and have a good week and enjoy your bank holiday.